Welcome back to our channel, The Historical Records. Today, we have a truly captivating topic to explore: the Islamic world, 1,000 years. The Islamic world, spanning diverse cultures, continents, and historical periods, holds a profound place in the annals of human history. Encompassing a vast array of societies and traditions, the Islamic world's influence extends far beyond the religious realm, touching upon politics, art, science, and philosophy. As we approach the dawn of a new millennium, it becomes imperative to delve into the significance of the past and its implications for the future. This essay will first define the Islamic world and outline its scope, followed by an exploration of the importance of a millennium within the context of Islamic history. The term Islamic world refers to the global community of people who adhere to Islam, a monotheistic religion founded in the 7th century CE by the Prophet Muhammad. Geographically, the Islamic world extends across the continents of Africa, Asia, Europe, and even the Americas, wherever Muslim communities have established themselves. The unity of the Islamic world is not solely based on shared religious beliefs but is also underpinned by common historical experiences, cultural practices, and social values. The Islamic world is marked by its immense diversity. From the sprawling deserts of the Arabian Peninsula to the bustling cities of South Asia and the intricate architectural marvels of Andalusia, the Islamic world encompasses a wide range of landscapes and traditions. Linguistically, Muslims communicate in various languages, from Arabic and Urdu to Turkish and Malay, reflecting the multicultural tapestry of the Islamic civilization. Approaching a millennium within the context of Islamic history invites contemplation and retrospection. The Islamic calendar, known as the Hijri calendar, marks time from the migration of the Prophet Muhammad from Mecca to Medina in 622 CE. As we approach the 15th century in the Hijri calendar, it is pertinent to reflect on the evolution of the Islamic world over the past millennium. The passage of a millennium offers a unique vantage point to assess the transformation of the Islamic world. Over the past 1,000 years, this world has witnessed the rise and fall of empires, the spread of knowledge through centers of learning like Baghdad's House of Wisdom, and the interchange of ideas between different cultures during the Islamic Golden Age. It has also navigated through challenges, including colonialism, political upheavals, and social transformations. The birth of Islam, one of the world's major monotheistic religions, is intricately tied to the life of Prophet Muhammad. Born in Mecca around 570 CE, Muhammad's early life was marked by contemplation and spiritual pursuits. At the age of 40, he received his first revelation from Allah, God, through the angel Gabriel, marking the commencement of his prophethood. These revelations, spanning over 23 years, were compiled into the Quran, the holy scripture of Islam. Muhammad's life was characterized by a commitment to monotheism and social justice. He preached the oneness of God and called for compassion, charity, and equality among believers. His migration, Hijra, from Mecca to Medina in 622 CE, an event that marks the beginning of the Islamic calendar, was driven by persecution but ultimately led to the establishment of a Muslim community in Medina. The Quran, believed by Muslims to be the literal word of God, is the primary source of Islamic theology and guidance. It covers various aspects of life, including faith, morality, and law. Alongside the Quran, Hadith, a collection of sayings and actions of Prophet Muhammad, provides further guidance on how to live according to Islamic principles. Together, these texts form the foundation of Islamic beliefs and practices. Following the death of Prophet Muhammad in 632 CE, a series of leaders known as the Rashidun Caliphs, rightly guided caliphs, succeeded him. These leaders included Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, and Ali. They are revered for their piety, wisdom, and dedication to preserving the teachings of Islam. Under their leadership, the Islamic community, Ummah, expanded, and key administrative and legal institutions were established. During the Rashidun Caliphate, the Islamic Empire expanded rapidly through military conquests. Under the leadership of Caliph Umar, territories including Egypt, Persia, and parts of the Byzantine Empire came under Islamic rule. This expansion not only spread the faith but also facilitated the exchange of ideas, culture, and goods along newly established trade routes. Umayyad Caliphate, 661 to 750 CE. The Umayyad dynasty succeeded the Rashidun caliphs and established the first hereditary Islamic monarchy. The Umayyad Caliphate moved the capital to Damascus and expanded the empire further, reaching its zenith under Caliph Abd al-Malik. However, their rule was marked by political and sectarian divisions, leading to the rise of the Abbasid dynasty, Abbasid Caliphate, 750-1258 CE. The Abbasid Caliphate, with its capital in Baghdad, is often referred to as the Golden Age of Islam. During this era, Islamic civilization witnessed significant intellectual, scientific, and cultural achievements. Scholars, including al-Razi, al-Kindi, and al-Farabi, made groundbreaking contributions in fields such as mathematics, astronomy, medicine, and philosophy. Islamic Golden Age, intellectual and scientific achievements. The Islamic Golden Age was characterized by an intellectual and scientific renaissance. Scholars translated and preserved classical Greek and Roman texts, advancing knowledge in various disciplines. This era saw the development of algebra by al-Khwarizmi, significant contributions to optics by Ibn al-Haytham, and the preservation of Greek philosophy by thinkers like Ibn Rushd. Averroes. House of Wisdom in Baghdad. One of the epicenters of learning during the Islamic Golden Age was the House of Wisdom in Baghdad. It served as a major center for translation, research, and scholarly collaboration. Scholars from diverse backgrounds gathered there to translate ancient texts into Arabic and conduct pioneering research. Trade along the Silk Road. The Islamic world played a crucial role in facilitating trade along the Silk Road, connecting the East and West. Islamic merchants and explorers contributed to the exchange of goods, knowledge, and cultures. Cities like Samarkand, Kashgar, and Cairo became thriving trade hubs. The Crusades and Islamic response, 11th to 13th centuries, motivations and objectives. The Crusades, a series of religious and military campaigns, were launched by European Christians during the 11th to 13th centuries. Their primary motivation was to recapture Jerusalem and other holy sites in the Holy Land, known as Palestine today, from Muslim control. The Crusaders were driven by a complex blend of religious fervor, political ambition, economic interests, and the promise of spiritual redemption. At the heart of the Crusades was the belief in the sanctity of Jerusalem, which held deep religious significance for Christians as the place of Jesus Christ's crucifixion and resurrection. The papacy, seeking to unite and strengthen Christendom, endorsed these expeditions and called upon European nobility to participate. The Crusades spanned several major campaigns. The First Crusade, 1096 to 1099, resulted in the capture of Jerusalem by the Crusaders. This event led to the establishment of Christian states in the Levant, including the Kingdom of Jerusalem. The Second Crusade, 1147 to 1149, aimed to reinforce the Crusader states but ended in failure. The Third Crusade, 1189 to 1192, was led by European monarchs, including Richard the Lionheart of England, Philip II of France, and Holy Roman Emperor Frederick I. It resulted in a truce with the Muslim leader Salahuddin, preserving Christian access to Jerusalem. Subsequent crusades, including the Fourth Crusade, 1202 to 1204, which ended in the sack of Constantinople, and the later Crusades, were marked by internal conflicts, political intrigues, and diminishing European interest in the Holy Land. The Crusades had far-reaching consequences, including the exchange of ideas and goods between Europe and the Islamic world, the introduction of Arabic scholarship to the West, and the exacerbation of tensions between Christians and Muslims. Islamic responses, Salahuddin, Saladin, and the reconquest of Jerusalem. Salahuddin, commonly known as Saladin, emerged as a prominent Muslim leader during the Crusades. He was a military and political genius who unified Muslim forces and initiated a successful campaign to retake Jerusalem. In 1187, Saladin's forces captured Jerusalem, ending nearly a century of Crusader rule. His reputation for chivalry and religious tolerance earned him respect even among his Christian adversaries. Saladin's recapture of Jerusalem led to negotiations with the European powers, ultimately resulting in the Third Crusades truce. Under his rule, Jerusalem remained under Muslim control, though it was open to Christian pilgrims. Impact on Islamic unity. The Crusades had a unifying effect on the Islamic world. Muslim leaders like Saladin and Nur al-Din worked to unite disparate Muslim factions and dynasties against the common Crusader threat. The events of the Crusades fostered a sense of pan-Islamic identity and solidarity, which persisted beyond the Crusader era. Islamic scholars and historians, including Ibn al-Athir and Ibn Khaldun, recorded the Crusades and their impact on the Muslim world. Additionally, the memory of the Crusades continued to influence Muslim-Christian relations for centuries, shaping perceptions and interactions between the two civilizations: Mongol invasions, Genghis Khan and Hulagu Khan. The Mongol invasions of the 13th century were a series of military campaigns launched by the Mongol Empire, a vast and formidable nomadic empire founded by Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan, a brilliant military strategist, expanded the Mongol Empire through conquests that stretched from Asia to Eastern Europe. His grandson, Hulagu Khan, played a crucial role in the events that led to the end of the Abbasid Caliphate, destruction of Baghdad, 1258. The most devastating blow to the Islamic world during the Mongol invasions was the sacking and destruction of Baghdad in 1258. Under the command of Hulagu Khan, Mongol forces besieged and captured the Abbasid capital, leading to a massacre of the city's inhabitants and the destruction of its cultural and intellectual treasures. This event marked a turning point in Islamic history, as it signaled the end of the Abbasid Caliphate, which had endured for over 5 centuries. The destruction of Baghdad had far-reaching consequences, including the loss of countless manuscripts and historical records. It also shattered the political and cultural heart of the Islamic world, leading to a period of chaos and uncertainty. The decline of the Abbasid Caliphate, fragmentation and weakness. The decline of the Abbasid Caliphate began long before the Mongol invasions. It was characterized by internal strife, political fragmentation, and the weakening of central authority. Various dynasties and regional powers challenged the Abbasid Caliphate's control over its vast territories. Additionally, economic and social challenges, such as fiscal mismanagement and agricultural decline, eroded the empire's strength. The political fragmentation of the Islamic world allowed the Mongols to exploit divisions among different Muslim states, making it easier for them to conquer and destroy major cities like Baghdad. Shift of Islamic centers of power. After the destruction of Baghdad, the Abbasid Caliphate survived in diminished form, with caliphs serving as figureheads under the Mongol Ilkhanate. The center of Islamic power began to shift away from the Abbasid caliphs, as new Muslim states and empires arose. Notably, the Mamluks in Egypt and the Ottoman Turks emerged as significant political entities in the Islamic world, while the Abbasid Caliphate continued to exist in Cairo and later in Istanbul. It had lost its previous political and religious authority. The Islamic world had entered an era of regional powers and shifting centers of influence. In summary, the Mongol invasions of the 13th century, particularly the destruction of Baghdad, marked a catastrophic moment in Islamic history. The decline of the Abbasid Caliphate, which had been weakened by internal and external challenges, was hastened by the Mongol conquest. The event not only led to the loss of the Abbasid political and cultural legacy, but also contributed to the reshaping of the Islamic world's political landscape, with new centers of power emerging in different regions. The Ottoman Empire, 14th to 20th centuries. Rise of the Ottomans, Osman I and the Ottoman dynasty. The Ottoman Empire, one of history's most influential empires, began with the leadership of Osman I. Osman founded the Ottoman dynasty in the early 14th century in the region that is now modern-day Turkey. Under his rule, the Ottomans gradually expanded their territory, laying the foundation for a powerful state. Osman's leadership and the military prowess of his descendants played a crucial role in the empire's rise, expansion into Europe and Asia. The Ottomans embarked on a relentless campaign of territorial expansion. Their early conquests included regions in Anatolia and the Balkans. The capture of Bursa in 1326 marked a significant victory and established the Ottomans as a formidable regional power. They continued to expand into Europe, Asia, and North Africa over the centuries, eventually reaching the zenith of their territorial control. The Ottoman Golden Age, Suleiman the Magnificent, who reigned from 1520 to 1566, is often regarded as the most illustrious of Ottoman rulers. His reign marked the peak of the Ottoman Empire's power and influence. Suleiman is renowned for his military conquests, legal reforms, and patronage of the arts and sciences. During his rule, the Ottomans expanded into Europe, capturing key cities like Belgrade and Budapest, and laid siege to Vienna in 1529. Ottoman culture and society. The Ottoman Empire's culture and society during its Golden Age were characterized by a rich blend of Islamic, Persian, and Byzantine influences. The Ottomans promoted religious tolerance and established a legal system known as the millet system, which allowed various religious and ethnic communities to govern their own affairs. This contributed to the empire's cultural diversity and economic prosperity. The Ottomans were also prolific builders, leaving behind magnificent architectural wonders like the Hagia Sophia, Topkapi Palace, and the Blue Mosque in Istanbul. Their contributions to art, literature, and music enriched not only their own culture but also had a lasting impact on the broader Islamic and European worlds. Decline and fall, military defeats and economic challenges. The Ottoman Empire faced a series of military defeats in the late 17th and 18th centuries, including setbacks against European powers like Austria and Russia. These defeats exposed weaknesses in the empire's military and economic infrastructure. Additionally, economic challenges, including inflation and corruption, eroded the empire's financial stability. Dissolution of the empire. 1922, the Ottoman Empire's dissolution was hastened by its involvement in World War I as part of the Central Powers. Following the war, the empire underwent a period of internal strife and reform attempts, including the Young Turk Revolution in 1908. The empire was eventually replaced by the Republic of Turkey, led by Mustafa Kemal Ataturk. In 1922, the fall of the Ottoman Empire resulted in the abolition of the Ottoman Sultanate and the establishment of a secular and modern Turkish state. The empire's former territories were divided among European colonial powers, leading to the redrawing of national borders and the creation of several modern Middle Eastern states. Colonialism and Modernization. 19th to 20th centuries, European colonialism, British, French, and Russian involvement. During the 19th and 20th centuries, European colonial powers, particularly the British, French, and Russians, exerted their influence across vast swathes of Islamic territories. British Empire. The British Empire had a significant presence in the Islamic world, including India, Egypt, Sudan, and parts of the Middle East. The colonization of India and the establishment of British control over Egypt were notable examples of British colonial endeavors. French Empire. France extended its colonial reach into North Africa, including Algeria, Tunisia, and Morocco. French colonialism brought about significant cultural and political changes in these regions. Russian Empire. In Central Asia and the Caucasus, the Russian Empire expanded its control, encroaching upon territories inhabited by Muslim populations. This expansion triggered cultural and political transformations in these regions. Impact on Islamic territories. The impact of European colonialism on Islamic territories was multifaceted. Political disruption. Colonial powers often dismantled existing political structures, replacing them with colonial administrations. This led to the loss of sovereignty and autonomy for many Islamic regions. Economic exploitation. Colonizers exploited the economic resources of Islamic territories, often to the detriment of local populations. Natural resources, agricultural products, and labor were frequently extracted for the benefit of the colonial powers. Social and cultural change. Colonial rule brought about changes in societal norms, education, and cultural practices. Western influences were introduced, leading to both resistance and adaptation within Islamic societies. Modernization and reform movements. Muhammad Ali of Egypt, Muhammad Ali Pasha, also known as Muhammad Ali of Egypt, was a key figure in the modernization of Egypt and the Ottoman Empire. He initiated a series of reforms in the early 19th century, including modernizing the military, restructuring the economy, and introducing Western-style educational systems. His rule had a lasting impact on Egypt's administrative and military capabilities. The Young Turks were a reformist and nationalist movement that emerged in the late Ottoman Empire. Comprised of military and civilian leaders, they sought to modernize the empire and restore its strength. Their efforts culminated in the Young Turk Revolution of 1908, which aimed to establish a constitutional government and strengthen national unity. While the Young Turks' reforms brought some positive changes, they also faced criticism for their authoritarian tendencies. Islamic responses to Western influence during this period varied widely, reform and adaptation. Some Islamic scholars and leaders advocated for reform and modernization within the framework of Islamic principles. They sought to reconcile traditional values with modernity, aiming to strengthen Islamic societies in the face of colonial challenges. Resistance movements. In response to colonialism and westernization, various Islamic resistance movements and nationalist movements emerged. These movements often combined religious and political ideologies to resist foreign rule. Pan-Islamism, championed by figures like Jamal al-Din al-Afghani and later adopted by the Ottoman Empire, aimed to foster solidarity among Muslims worldwide. It sought to unite Muslims against colonial powers and promote a sense of shared identity and purpose. The 20th century and beyond, World Wars and the Middle East. Impact of World War I. World War I had a profound impact on the Middle East, primarily due to the disintegration of the Ottoman Empire, which had been a major player in the region for centuries. The war resulted in the Ottoman Empire's defeat, and the subsequent Treaty of Sèvres, 1920, led to the partitioning of Ottoman territories. The empire's Arab provinces were placed under the control of European colonial powers, with the British and French mandates established in areas such as Iraq, Syria, and Palestine. This marked the beginning of colonial rule in the region. Creation of modern nation-states. The aftermath of World War I also saw the emergence of modern nation-states in the Middle East. In some cases, the colonial powers drew borders without considering ethnic, religious, or tribal divisions, leading to conflicts that persist to this day. The disintegration of the Ottoman Empire led to the birth of countries like Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, and Saudi Arabia, among others, each with its unique challenges and aspirations. Post-colonialism and nationalism. Decolonization. The mid-20th century witnessed a wave of decolonization across the Middle East, as countries sought independence from colonial powers. Decolonization was often accompanied by nationalist movements and struggles. Key events included the independence of India in 1947 and the Suez Crisis in 1956, which marked a turning point in Anglo-French colonial influence in the region. Emergence of modern Islamic states. Many newly independent Middle Eastern countries sought to balance modernization with Islamic identity. Iran, for example, underwent a revolution in 1979, leading to the establishment of an Islamic Republic under Ayatollah Khomeini. Similarly, Saudi Arabia, under the guidance of the House of Saud, continued to uphold its Islamic traditions while engaging with the global economy. See, contemporary issues, Islamic revivalism and political Islam. The latter half of the 20th century and the early 21st century witnessed the rise of Islamic revivalism and political Islam. Movements like the Muslim Brotherhood and Hezbollah emerged as influential political and social forces. The Iranian Revolution of 1979, the Afghan Jihad against the Soviet Union, and the Arab Spring uprisings all reflected the complex interplay between Islam and politics in the region. Oil and the global economy. The Middle East has been a pivotal player in the global economy due to its vast oil reserves. The Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, founded in 1960, allowed oil-producing countries to collectively regulate oil prices and production. The region's oil wealth has had a significant impact on global geopolitics and economies, making it a focal point of international interest. Conflict in the Middle East. the Middle East has been plagued by numerous conflicts, including the Arab-Israeli conflict, the Iran-Iraq War, the Gulf War, and ongoing conflicts in Syria, Yemen, and Libya. These conflicts have resulted in immense human suffering and have shaped the region's political dynamics, Islamophobia and Western relations. The rise of Islamophobia, fueled by cultural misunderstandings, geopolitical tensions, and acts of terrorism, has strained relations between the Islamic world and the West. Efforts to bridge these divides, foster intercultural understanding, and address issues of religious discrimination continue to be essential in international diplomacy. The resilience and diversity of the Islamic world. The history of the Islamic world is a testament to its resilience and remarkable diversity. Spanning over a millennium, it has weathered a myriad of challenges, from the rise and fall of empires to encounters with colonialism and the complexities of modernity. Throughout its history, the Islamic world has displayed a remarkable capacity to adapt, absorb new ideas, and maintain its core values. Its diversity, evident in the multitude of cultures, languages, and traditions that coexist under the Islamic umbrella, is a source of strength, contributing to the richness of its civilization. B. The ongoing impact of a millennium of Islamic history. The legacy of a millennium of Islamic history continues to shape the modern world in profound ways. Islamic contributions to science, philosophy, art, and architecture have left an indelible mark on human civilization. The Islamic Golden Age's intellectual achievements continue to influence contemporary thought, and the Quran's enduring message resonates with millions worldwide. Moreover, the experiences of Islamic civilization, including encounters with colonialism and the challenges of modernization, inform the political, social, and cultural dynamics of today's Islamic world. See, future prospects and challenges for the Islamic world. As the Islamic world moves into the future, it faces a complex array of prospects and challenges. The pursuit of modernity and economic development coexists with the preservation of cultural and religious identities. Political transformations and social aspirations drive change, while historical legacies continue to shape identities and aspirations. The challenge of addressing issues like political stability, economic inequality, religious pluralism, and social justice will play a critical role in determining the Islamic world's path forward. In a globalized world, the Islamic world remains interconnected with diverse regions and cultures, offering opportunities for dialogue, cooperation, and mutual understanding. However, it also faces contemporary issues such as the rise of political extremism, the impact of climate change, and the need for sustainable development. Ultimately, the Islamic world's future prospects are intertwined with its ability to harness its rich heritage, adapt to changing circumstances, and engage constructively with global challenges. By drawing on the resilience and diversity that have characterized its history, the Islamic world has the potential to contribute positively to the global community and play a pivotal role in shaping the course of the 21st century and beyond. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe and stay with us.